not the same as churches. The first mosque was built in Medina when Muhammad conquered it. It was his headquarters, it's where he issues fatwas, it's where the army gathers, it's where he organises wars, and that's exactly what they still continue to do. Every mosque is actually built around and imitates that first mosque in Medina. That's what they're about. I say that's a threat to national security. When we federated back in 1901, every state, every former colony in every state handed over our national defence powers to our federal government. We no longer in Queensland, you can't get your own army, even though you might like it. But we've handed those powers over. So it's clear to me there is a track record of what goes on in mosques, and they are a threat to national security. You see that in France and Germany, UK, all over the world. But we are letting them build those mosques here now. And when you go and object to it, the only avenue is a legal one. And even if you get all the councillors on side who oppose it, they're still stuck with the law. They don't examine, is this a threat to national security? Is this where they're going to be teaching discrimination against girls? Is this where they're going to be telling little boys they can go out and shoot people? Is this where they're going to be practising underage marriage? Is this where they're going to be training that clitorectomies are okay? The councillors are not allowed to ask those questions. They go, are there enough car parks? Right. So what I say is our federal, and this is why I went to Canberra a couple of times, you know, and I'll be there again on the 6th of February. Please come to that. It's going to be, I'm not the only speaker, but it's the first time there has been a national rally in the one city at the one time. Now, I've been angling for that for a while so that we don't split up between Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Brisbane. Now, there's going to be, there are buses arranged already to go from all of those cities that I've talked about. There's going to be a two-pig on a spit that night and a bacon breakfast. And so I think it's going to be quite good. The last 2 times I've been to Canberra, there's only been a few hundred people each time.
Palestine is Muslim land! Palestine is Muslim land! The solution is jihad! The solution is jihad!
A lot of people are public service in Canberra, and they're actually afraid to turn up. If they get identified, they're concerned about promotion and maybe even losing their job. I don't want to preach to the converted. You've all done your own research about Islam. I find myself waking up quite often in the morning and saying, I won't do anything about Islam today. You know, I write thousands of words and I'm almost constantly on it. And I say, OK, I'm just not going to do it today. And then you get up on the news feed, and I have news feeds which I connect into through the media. I've got 2 Facebook pages, by the way, one personal one and one which I use politically called Australian Law First. I also have blog sites. I've written about 4,500 words about female genital mutilation and so forth. I often feel like giving up. They're far more advanced than we are. They're heavily funded by Saudi Arabia, sue me if you like. They're the ones that will provide no funds to assist the German government with the immigrants, but they'll build 200 mosques for them. They're the ones who are funding mosques here in Australia. And they're experienced at it. They know how to come in slowly. They know how to colonise us. They've declared war on us, even if our government doesn't admit it.
So we believe the Sharia will govern the whole world. In fact, one day we've been informed as a prophecy that will be the case. In the east of the east and the west of the west, the Muslims will have authority.
Oh, it's coming. Simple. It's coming. I'll tell you straight. You've got Islam in your country, it's coming.
But when I think of what's going on here in Australia, I know I can't stop what's going on in Syria or Yemen or Saudi Arabia. You know, if I go to Saudi Arabia, I'd just as likely be like that Australian guy that got 30 lashes for having some homebrew in the back of his car. But you can't stop that. But in Australia, I refuse to shut up when little girls are being clitorectomised on the kitchen table by grandma. I hate the idea of 15-year-olds being told lies, absolute lies. They will go to heaven and have a wonderful time. Kill me. That's obnoxious to everything that we stand up for Australia. And so when I think about that, I keep going. And that's why I delayed my flight, so I could be here.